Well, I've been speaking with the Energy Minister, Greg Barker, and the Shadow Energy Secretary, Caroline Flint. I started by asking if these price increases meant the big six energy companies should now be referred to the Competition Commission.
No, what it needs is a real drive to smash open this market with new entrants to really support the independents and break open the big six.
How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that?
Well, by bringing down regulatory barriers and creating incentives for new players to join, the very opposite of what the Labour Party are proposing by embracing the big six with even tighter regulation. But what we also need to do, John, we can't wait for the structural reconstruction of the market. We need practical help for consumers this winter.
What is a real truth is that energy prices are 8% higher in terms of generation. So it's not easy to cap price rises if energy that's being supplied to these companies is going up at that rate.
Look, wholesale prices are lower today than they were in 2008. And in 2009, there was a dip in the wholesale electricity market by about 45%. That was never reflected in terms of bills to consumers. And I'd have to say to Greg, what is the government's answer to the way in which these companies are organised? Do they accept that they should carry on like they are, or are they going to accept there has to be fundamental change in the way this market is structured?
Well, I think it's extraordinary that Caroline's just pointed out that the prices dipped in 2009, but that wasn't passed on to consumers. The Energy Secretary at that time was Ed Miliband, who had 3 years to sort this out. So I really don't think that we can trust Labour to do that again.
In 2009, we have seen prices go up 3 times as fast under this government,
can't trust Labour,
which is what the House of Commons Library tells us.
We know that the price freeze can't be implemented.
Yes,
we know that it's already unravelling. We know that basically it's a con on the British public. So the fact of the matter is consumers won't thank you if you have try to freeze the market and in so doing drive away the very investment we need in order to have a more competitive, more plural and modern energy sector.
Could I just put in a word for the consumer who is listening to this argument and is about to pay effectively 10% increases in their energy prices in the coming months? But they are being robbed, and you know that as well as I do.
Absolutely, which is why we've made it easier
our
for
minister
them to
tells
switch,
us that energy companies are robbing customers and he can do nothing about it.
You can do something about it. We've made it easier to switch. We've made bills more easy to read, and we're encouraging people to penalise the big six by taking their business, voting with their feet and going to another supplier. People are increasingly doing that under the coalition.
I mean, look, even the government minister concedes that this price rise today is unfair and it's not fair to customers. But we had SSE last week. Who knows what's going to happen with the other 4? Perhaps they'll follow like a herd and put up their prices as well.
Well, I asked the minister if he would refer it to the Competition Commission. Would you?
Well, what we're saying...
Would you?
Well, we don't believe it's competitive already.
But would you refer it and get it officially ruled on?
I think our package is far clearer than just referring it.
I've asked a very simple question. Would you refer these rises to the Competition Commission? The minister's admitted that it's robbery. You're saying it's wrong. Why won't you have it referred to the Competition Commission?
We've said the government should freeze the bills now. They don't have to refer it to the Competition Commission. We know that this market isn't competitive enough, and even the government admit that. What we're saying is freeze the bills and introduce real structural reforms to this market to make it work better.
And
the government have no answer to that.
What Caroline won't admit is that by freezing the bills, the very people you would kill would be the independents, the people who will bring choice and competition to the market, not the big six who've got the balance sheets to get through that period. If she listens to the independents, if she listens to the entrepreneurs,
the big six
they are screaming that Labour's proposals would be disastrous for choice in the market.
Let me ask you, would Labour sell a nuclear power station construction to China?
I believe we need nuclear power for the future.
And I asked you about China.
And I welcome investment from overseas, and that includes from China. Next week, we will have a statement, I understand, from the government when we'll get details of whatever deal has been struck, and I will reserve my comments to them. But we do need to invest in nuclear for the future.
Are you happy, Minister, to have a totalitarian state with uncertain ambitions control some sector of our nuclear generation?
Well, are you talking about the Labour Party?
I'm talking about China.
You're talking about China, but we welcome investors from around the world to come in to the UK, and that means making it an attractive place for business if we want that £110 billion of
so
investment.
no
And
issue
that
of
means in
national
nuclear
security,
as well as renewables.
No issue of national security. Not worried something might go wrong on the Hong Kong agreement. Very long-term agreement, doesn't expire for a good lot of years yet. You're quite happy that they'd be quite happy to have them involved in our nuclear power industry.
I think China are a great partner for the 21st century. This is a forward-looking understanding that we've come to with the Chinese. We haven't announced any details yet. We'll have to wait for that.